Hey friends and followers, Dating Hacks with Erika here. I want to talk today about what not to do on a first date. So basically first date no-nos. I'll be referring to my handy dandy list here on my computer, which I will gladly post. So first, don't have your phone out or text. Even your phone upside down on a bar is still out because that distraction is there, right? So just put it away for the duration of the date. If you're expecting a call or something, if your child, your parent, whatever is going to call, just tell your date, hey, I need to leave this out in case this person calls. But other than that, put it away. Number 2, don't talk about your ex. I don't care if you're in a good place or a bad place or a medium place. Don't talk about your ex because inevitably you say something great, your date thinks you're not over that person. You say something terrible, your date thinks you're not over that person and that you're kind of bitter. So avoid that. Just don't talk about it. Don't be late with no notice. If you're running late, whatever, traffic happens, things happen. Just notify your date before the time of the date. I have a story actually on my podcast that talks about how someone arrived at a date with me at 3:08, which is late. Had he just notified me, I would have been fine. But at 3:02 or something, I texted him and said, are you here? I don't see you, because I wasn't sure if he was at the coffee shop. And he wrote, oh, I'm 5 minutes away. Well, were you gonna tell? No, you weren't gonna tell me you were running late. So telling someone you're running late after the time the date starts is unacceptable. And on that note, don't be excessively late. Again, I know things happen, just be aware of someone else's time. I get it. I'm notorious for being 5 minutes late, which my friends know, and I'm sorry, friends. But be respectful of other people's time. Don't be rude to anyone. That sounds like it should be self-explanatory. But yeah, be nice to wait staff. Be nice to people on the street. Just be a good human. Don't drink too much so you have impaired judgment when you're drunk. So try to avoid that. Don't talk too much about work. Inevitably, you're going to talk about work. Maybe. But don't talk about it the whole time because then it really feels like an interview. And talking about work isn't necessarily sexy, so you just want to make sure not to talk about it the whole time or else it does start to feel like an interview. Don't have bad breath. Don't talk about marriage, either the future one you plan to have or the one that didn't work or any previous one. Don't talk about it. Tip well. So the no-no is don't not tip well. Sorry for the double negative. Once I went on a date. It was on my birthday. I like to have a glass of champagne at 3 p.m. on my birthday. I don't know why, that's my tradition. So this guy, I don't know, had a flexible schedule. We met at 3 for a glass of champagne on my birthday. And I mentioned it was my birthday, and the bartender overheard me and ended up giving me a free glass of champagne, which was really kind of her. So we have our drink, and we leave, and he pays the check. And I see, and look, judge me if you want for looking at what he left as a tip, but so it goes. He left $1, and this is for 2 glasses of champagne. One she had given me for free, but you have to tip on the whole amount. So, you know, I have a big mouth. I was like, you have to tip on the whole amount. And I felt bad because I knew he was treating me, but on the other hand, I couldn't stiff her like that. So he ended up leaving a little bit more, and take that for what you will, but just like tip nicely. Don't talk about yourself too much. I get a lot of complaints from clients. Oh my gosh, he or she only talked about herself the whole time. Just make sure it's a back and forth. Don't be fake. What do I mean by that? Just don't put on some weird airs to impress someone. Just be yourself. If they don't like you, good. At least you know that now. And then last but not least, don't flip the off switch if you're not into someone. And what I mean by that is sometimes you're gonna walk into a date and you know immediately that this person is not for you for whatever reason. Unfortunately, a lot of people will just turn off at that point, and like they're physically present, but not emotionally present, not in thought. So you've both made the time to be there, so try to stay present for the entirety of the date, even if it's a short date. You never know what you might get from that. You might learn something. You might learn about a new restaurant. Anything. You might find a business colleague out of it. So just make sure not to kind of turn off and already call it a waste of time if you're not the right fit for each other. Just be there and try to enjoy the moment. Those are the lucky 13 first date no-nos I have. I would welcome any others you have, and feel free to post them in the comments.